My name is Lisa Harrison, and today I'm talking with George Kavassilas. We will be talking about planetary and personal ascension. Now, if you're not familiar with George's message or George himself, then please go to his website at georgekavassilas.org, and there's a lot of information there, some great videos. And the one I would like to recommend to start with is Our Journey and the Grand Deception, because in that George covers off very succinctly how the universe was created, why it was created, who we are, how we came here, why we came here, and more importantly for me right now is where we're going. And that's the bit that I really want to focus on today with you, George. You have been very, very busy over the last few months with interviews, and I don't really want to get you to repeat yourself too much. So I really would like to focus on the more so about where we're going. But before we get to that, I have a couple of questions in regards to your childhood, because you've talked about on a few of your interviews how you have been experiencing abductions and beings visiting you from the time you were little, at least 5, probably before. And I just wanted to clarify, you are talking about physical abductions. You're being removed from your home, from your bed at night.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
And you were being taken on board craft?
Yes, that's right. And also taken to places on the planet, and occasionally I was taken to other worlds.
Now, as a parent, the idea that something like that, something that extraordinary could be happening to your child is kind of terrifying and exciting. But did anybody in your family know what was happening for you?
Well, I tried sharing it with my family, but they couldn't come to terms with it. It was always flubbed off as you're just having a bad dream, and oh, don't worry about it, it'll be all right. And it was just played down. It was dismissed, basically, and that really hurt as a child when you're trying to share your experiences. And yeah.
There must have been a great sense of isolation that came with that for a small
that's really
child.
well said.
Yeah.
That's really good insight. It was, and I would then try to go to school and function down here in the matrix and do all the day-to-day stuff that you do. And it was just so challenging and difficult. And I was like a really, really highly motivated student. And then all of a sudden my grades just dropped away really fast. And my parents couldn't figure out why. We had meetings with teachers, and I was sitting there the whole time wanting to tell them why, and I couldn't. It was really strange. It was a really strange experience. And well, I used to sleep in class because I'd been, taken during the night, and I couldn't stay awake in the classroom. It was really, really difficult, really challenging.
Yeah, well, changes in behaviour.
My mind, I had no attention span. I couldn't stay focused in class. It was really very challenging, and just the energy of the classroom itself and the education system, just being immersed in that vibration, for me was very painful. It was really uncomfortable. It used to make me feel sick, and my knowing deep down inside was this is all wrong, and this isn't how it's meant to be, and all that sort of business. Yeah.
So at that age, you're 5 or 6 years old, you're having these extraordinary experiences, you realise that it's not commonplace, this is not happening to everybody. Did it make you feel special, or did it make you feel different and weird? I mean, kids have got such an identity crisis going on anyway, let alone having these kind of experiences.
I didn't have that I feel special thing going on. For me, it was more trying to cope with it, and trying to cope with the experiences. I had some really awful experiences, and I had some really wonderful experiences. So I had both sides happening, and it was more confusion, and it was more just getting down to, in the moment of the day, trying to get through the day, trying to get through every hour, and it was like a struggle like that on a regular basis for me.
Sounds exhausting.
It was as a child, and I sort of coped a bit better with it as I got older. and had things like, I enjoyed listening to music and got into sports a lot. Did a lot of sports when I was younger, and that seemed to um, it also acted as a release, I suppose you could say, because I was able to get my energies out and get some of that frustration out as well, and put that energy and morph it into something different. And so I was very, very active as a young kid.
So when did you, well, for want of a better phrase, come out of the closet with your family and friends? Come out of the ET closet?
Yeah, the ET closet. I would say I, I always started bringing it into conversations. I remember one day in my mid-teens having a debate with my father about who built the pyramids, and I was telling him that interdimensional beings built the pyramids, and he got angry, like he got really angry, and I thought, why can't I just express my opinion? Why is he getting so angry? Like, even if he doesn't agree with me, there's no reason for him to get angry about it. And then I started realizing, wow, there's an energy here that won't allow me to speak up, won't allow me to talk, won't allow me to express myself, and I found it around me, coming through different people. I started to see it back then. It just started to, oh, hang on a minute. And I started to get a grasp of what's going on around the mid-teens.
Mm-hmm. Did that cost you a lot of friends?
Oh, yeah, because I was a space cadet. I was a nutter. And there were some kids I just didn't talk about it to people, because even though I tried talking about it and tried talking, people about ETs, there were some kids that were like, yeah, we know there's ETs, we know there's life out there, there's got to be. The odd child had an experience here and there, but mostly kids didn't talk about it. And so there were some I could relate to, but they were just a handful throughout my life. It wasn't that many.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that, because I find that fascinating, both as a parent, but also from the other perspective of if those sort of things were happening to me growing up, and I tried to share that with anybody in my family, I'm sure, I'd have been off to the doctor pretty quick.
Oh, every time there was, this is another thing, the moment there was something on telly to do with ETs, or the moment I would watch something to do with the human spirit, like people being released from slavery, those sort of themes would ignite me internally, and I would either be bawling my eyes out, or I would just become so empowered, like, whoa, I'm going to be doing this one day. It was always there, it was always in me, and it was only later on in life I've come to realise this is my vocation now. And I had inklings of it. It was deep in my core, but yeah, I'm here to expose and share the truth with the people.
Well, let's get to the truth. What is the big deal about 2012 and the next couple of years leading up to it? Why should we care? Why should we think it's anything other than another Y2K? What is it? What is it in your words?
In my words, it's the ending of a cycle, and it's all life has life cycles in these domains of the universe. It's all life cycles. We're not in a domain where we're experiencing eternal life. We're experiencing finite life cycles, and it's understanding the connection to the world around you and the universe around you, and that even planetary systems have life cycles. And this planet we are on, Mother Earth, she's got a life cycle happening as well. And people don't pay that any attention. They just think about their little bubble of reality and don't want to have a look at the bigger picture. And so my understanding is that the life cycle that we as a human race, as a species living on Mother Earth, we're on a journey together with her. And that cycle that we're on this journey with her is now coming to an end, and something new there's a transformation taking place. Because when a cycle ends, you don't just die, you transform from one form to another. There's no such thing as death. Death is really migration. So you just migrate from this level of reality to another level of reality. So we are not going to experience physical death either. The transformation at the end of this cycle is really quite unique, It's something that's brand new in the universe and hasn't happened before. So it's very exciting. The whole universe has all its attention basically here on Earth right now. Everybody's interested in what's going on Earth.
In regards to cycles, obviously the Mayan calendar is one of the better known measures of this cycle. And I've actually come to realise that, or look at the Mayan calendar not so much as a calendar but as a timetable. It seems like a very succinct timetable for this evolutionary cycle. And there are the work of Ian Lungold and Carl Kalliman in particular. They focus on a date in October of next year, more so than December 2012. Are you aware of anything significant about October of next year in your experience?
Well, I know that probably from the middle of 2011 onwards is where the real big stuff's going to happen, when the drama really gets rolling. So any time after that, so it's within that time frame between the middle of 2011 right through till the end of 2012, that's when it's going to mostly happen. Because it's already happening around us, but most people are not aware. And the levels it's happening, it's more sort of behind the scenes a little bit. So you can think of the bubble of reality that we are in as kind of like a dam wall, and the pressure's building because what's happening is this change there's a wave of energy coming through the universe, and it's forcing this change to happen because it's part of the evolutionary process of the universe. It's a living, thinking, feeling, growing, and evolving being itself. So you can't stop what's happening. It's impossible. So I can go off so many tangents here. There are racists who think they can stop it from happening and think they can manipulate this reality, but they can't. It's all just an egoic delusion on their behalf, and that's the reality of it. And so it really comes down to we are part of something that is so grand. We are part of a birthing of a new way of life here, and really the outcome is so wonderful, so positive, so more beyond positive. I mean, beyond this notion of duality. So it can't be stopped, and the process has been held back by Mother Earth as well. She's on one level of her being, on one layer of her consciousness. She's in absolute agony, and she's been holding back for as long as possible. So the changes will happen in a very intense way, but over a short period of time, so there's less suffering.